All right, it's 7 o'clock. I'd like to call to order the June meeting of the Windsor Township Board of Supervisors. Before we start, I'd like to invite everybody to stand and say the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, first item on the agenda, would someone make a motion to approve the minutes of the May 8th meeting of the board?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
No,
I'm abstaining.
you abstain, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, on to public comment. We have one person tonight, Mr. Raymond Martin. You have the floor.
Yeah, I have something I'd like to run by the supervisors. I purchased a Pringle farm over here on Woodland Road. I don't have enough papers for everybody,
Just
but
give it to them.
as you're all aware, there's 5 old apartment units along Woodland Road there,
The old chicken houses.
whatever they were,
Yeah.
but they're in dire need of a little more than just cosmetic. And what I'd like to do is, on my plan there, the solid outline is the existing building. And what I'd like to do is just erase that and then build 5 single small units there. Square footage would be just about the same. It's a couple hundred square feet bigger.
But you're changing footprint. So he's gonna have to go through land development.
You may
Yes.
do that tomorrow.
And a 5-unit, 322 Woodland Road,
It's right out the borough line.
right at the borough line.
And that sand mound that's to the west is services these
That
houses.
services these houses, yes.
There's a sand mound there already.
Yeah. Well, we're changing the, what was the use there now? What's the current use for the property?
They're living, they're like apartments.
They're
Right,
apartments
yeah,
now,
basically.
yeah.
Is there parking there for those existing parking? already
Yeah.
there?
Off-street parking.
And what I do is I move back,
Excuse me.
I can move back 4 feet further than what's there now, which would make it a little nicer.
Would you mind giving me a site plan and then letting me look at it, and then I could tell you exactly what you need to do going forward based on zoning?
I can,
Yeah, that would be the best way to do this. If you gave me a site plan, I could review this, just look at it from a whole, and I can tell you if you need zoning relief, we need to go in front of the planning commission, all of that nature.
Okay.
For that, and then I can do that pretty quickly.
Is that this, or is this something else?
But no, they are shown on I'm submitting papers for subdivision, which
Oh, so you're doing this?
is gonna be
okay.
coming up next Tuesday or whatever.
At the PC?
But
At the
they're
planning
shown
commission
on
meeting.
here.
You'll be at the meeting, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay, well, why don't you take one of these and then just bring it?
So these are the site plan then?
Yeah, they're shown on there.
And that's just for subdivision?
This is for subdivision, yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna start the dances up at the barn, right? There was a lot of
We need time to review that as well.
years ago.
Something will happen with that in the future, but that could be way down the road yet.
Yeah.
Excuse me. We also have
So where is this at again?
Right in here.
Just did some Arby's.
These are the storage units in here, in this area. Correct.
If you come
Yeah,
off
storage
Fourth
units
Street,
right here.
Then it's the next property.
Then the big sand mound is on, in here.
And this is where, this is the building you're,
That's the building I'm talking about.
how far do you own back here then?
Well, all the way down,
Oh, okay.
all the way down.
Oh, this is the lot.
All the way down in the valley.
You,
Yeah.
do you plan to you're gonna completely tear down? You're gonna completely tear down and then rebuild?
Well, that all depends,
Yeah,
that all depends. I'd like to, I can make it a little better,
well,
but
if you might need relief depending how close you are to that road.
Yeah, there'd probably be 40 foot
Uh,
setback.
I can stay on the same foundation, but I'd rather not do that.
But if you tear it completely down, you'd have to rebuild in conforming with our zoning. I think the best Mr. Martin, would be giving you time to review this and then give a zoning letter to the board and
Okay.
yourself. So
Do you
just,
need one of these? Well, you're gonna have one of these till.
yeah, I'll have one of these
Tuesday,
and then we'll have Tuesday the planning commission, but I know now this, in front of the planning commission is just your subdivision plan.
Yeah,
So I will also add this in my review letter for a five apartment complex.
Ryan, you wanna have this to, well,
yeah, I guess you.
Rebuild already existing, correct?
Yes,
So we already have a multi-residential use. Okay,
all right.
is that all right?
Yeah,
Best place to reach you, Mr. Martin, to send you a letter?
my cell phone, I use, have it at the
Did you,
office.
is that what you text me today?
I didn't text you.
Okay, then I don't.
I called the office today.
You called the office, yeah, sorry, so I had someone else text me, perfect. I'll do that then, we'll get it to you.
Okay,
Okay?
yep,
see you Tuesday, right?
yes, sir.
All right,
Thank you,
very
gentlemen.
much.
Thank you.
All right, no other public comment? No? All right, we're gonna move on to reports of financial status.
Okay. As of today, again, the main source of income at this point received by Windsor Township was line item 310.21 earned income tax. So 5 months of the year, that was $220,000 some dollars is what we have received.
Craig, how is that tracking year over year?
Pardon?
How is that tracking year over year?
That is definitely a little bit above what was budgeted.
Okay.
And the other thing at this point, if we look at line item 341, interest, we notice that through 5 months of the year, the 21,000 is what we have garnered as far as interest. Line item 355.05, we have received our liquid fuel allocation from the state, and that is to the tune of 167,000 some dollars. Total income received as of today in all accounts is $539,553.61. The last page you have on your handout, if you have one, shows the expenses as of today. Of course, the major expenses for our major road work has not yet been shown. So if we look at that, compare total revenues, 500 and some thousand compared to 344 expenditures, unfortunately that will change dramatically after we do our summer road work. But total expenditures as of today, $344,834.39.
Any other comment? Nope. Nope, all right, thank you.
Yep.
All right, zoning, Mr. Westman.
Yes. Do you have anything regarding my report? Besides that, I'll get into, is the builder of 440 Creek Lane in here? Said he might come tonight just to describe his project. So 440 Creek Lane was a complete tear down. He's rebuilding inside a floodplain. A couple issues is just so you're aware, I want to make you aware, just so people don't think he's just building a floodplain. He is building above the flood elevation. I had a copy of engineered footings. I have a copy of engineered soil compaction and soil boring for the area. So they're doing fill there for that reason. He also has his permit from the county and, as required by our ordinance, the permit from DEP to build in the floodway. So that one's gonna take care of it. I see that they're reissuing the expired permit to install the sand mound. So I obviously will not issue the permit until the septic permit is approved and stormwater.
352 Dunn Road.
352 Dunn Road.
How far did those piles needed to be pushed back? I see they're pushed back.
Yes, 15 feet. So
they
yeah.
could be 15 feet.
Yeah, well, I have to measure them.
Yeah, okay, but I know I saw it was pushed back and have some.
I sent a second, well, I posted that property
Mhm.
because I got no response after the second letter.
Yeah. Well, they were moved.
Okay,
Just to the west of that, we had that issue with that water retention pond,
yes,
and I know that went through DEP and all that stuff, but in that agreement or whatever, there was something that said he had to keep the indigenous trees cut out of it.
yeah, I believe that was in that, I have that file somewhere.
What's considered indigenous?
I have to read the report again.
If you're out in that area, taking a look at Woodland Road there, take a spin down there
Mhm.
and just see, I mean, you know, I know he doesn't have to cut the brush, but the trees would have to go before they become a problem.
Yeah, I'll look at the report and maybe I can just say, hey, you know, I'll send out.
Yeah, just highlight that. and say, you
Yeah,
know,
highlight
we're not-
that area.
We realize you don't have to cut the brush, but
Yeah.
you need to take care of the trees.
Take care of the trees, yep.
You want to bring up Shopwell Road, that property, just so it's on the record?
Oh, over in the 700 blockage, how we moved there.
Grass
Place wa-
issue.
Yep.
Yeah,
Place wasn't
it's-
moved.
we've had issues with that in the past. It'll be in the files.
Yeah, I have a property file on that property, I think.
Okay.
I'll take care of that.
It's in the 700 block, but I don't know the address.
Yeah, and also, another thing I'll bring to your attention is, the Windsor Castle place down here, I have sent, you know, they mowed it. I sent enough letters to the point where I was gonna ask Russ, but I think maybe you could answer this. I can just cite them at this point, because I've given them notice of violation time and time again, where I have in other townships just cited at this point for the issue reoccurring.
Right,
Okay.
that makes sense to me.
Okay, so I can just cite them at this point and and take it to the magistrate.
All right. Any other comment?
No.
All right, thank you. Engineering and SEO.
Okay, as we just heard, 440 Creek Lane, our office is reissuing the expired permit to install the sand mound. So that's all being coordinated. Before the meeting, I handed the SEO report out, so you have that. The other packet that I handed out, as Tom and I had discussed, are 2 emails and the signage plan for the Port Clinton, which is later on the agenda, folks that are in the meeting, just so you're aware. It's the signage for the proposed weight restriction in Windsor Township 4, Port Clinton Avenue. I copied both engineers for the 2 communities, West Brunswick Township as well as Hamburg Borough. Those are the emails that I had sent to the folks along with the signage plan for them to review it and to give their blessing to us so that we could process this whole ordinance and weight restriction signage. So we also had a person attend a current PennDOT Connects webinar that we were informed that they use different signs now, and it's the no turns. It's these signs now. so it's pretty clear. So this is as current of a signage plan as PennDOT permits. So I haven't heard anything yet on a yes or no from either of the communities, but we're hoping to hear soon. Any questions on that?
Well, let's just wait and see what they come up with, because like I said, if trucks do wind up going down Port Clinton Avenue, I mean, they're really not notified before they get down to Mountain Road, and if they keep going out, they're gonna be in the weight limit zone. So you don't think there should be anything at Port Clinton and Mountain?
Trucks do come out mountain.
Oh, do they come out mountain? Yeah.
And I also think that with the agreement, there was gonna be like oil trucks, fire equipment and all that stuff was gonna be allowed to use.
That's correct. Just like any weight limit restriction.
Yeah, because if there's any trucks that are going north on 3rd Street and come to Port Clinton Avenue, if they turn left, they're not gonna see any signs.
So signs at Mountain, and what was the other one?
Mountain and Port Clinton, notifying them that the road has a weight limit, what is that, 1.5 miles ahead? Not even.
No, it's
No,
3/4
maybe
mile.
3/4 more like. And at 3rd and Port Clinton Avenue, if the trucks turn left on Port Clinton and head north, there's no signs between there and the weight limit zone.
Okay, so we could do a no, you said a left turn.
Well, that's why I say, if
We can
the
do
borough
that.
hasn't seen this yet,
They have,
then there's no comment or,
they did not comment yet.
okay. Well, they don't have a meeting, I didn't know if they talked about it at workshop last night or not. Well, let's see what they think about it.
Okay. The biggest question though that I think, when we put it in the email was who's paying for the signs? And we said Windsor Township's paying for the
Mhm.
signs, so that was their concern.
Who did they meet with? Great Valley?
Great Valley is Steve Hoffman, so that's who was.
So Steve was
contacted.
out?
Steve was the one that was copied on the email
Okay.
for Hamburg Borough, and then West Brunswick Township was the manager who was gonna forward it to their engineer.
Any,
So that's the update on that. And then H&K's HOP was received. They still need the improvements agreement.
Right.
Okay. And the one thing that Tom and I are still not clear on is there's a holding tank at H&K's property, and they need to enter into a holding tank agreement. And we haven't seen the executed agreement yet. So we don't want to necessarily give approval without that agreement to occupy the site. So that's the other issue I wanted to bring up to everybody's attention, and that's all I have this evening.
any other comment? Greg?
No, I would imagine one of the things now is that Russell or you, Justin, will, the improvements agreement.
That's pretty much together. I just need a confirmation of the final plan that's being used, like in reference to the improvements agreement, just like final, whatever kind of serial and date last revised numbers are on that. That's the only thing I need to
That
plug
would
in.
come from Great Valley,
Okay.
because they're the reviewer.
Yeah, I think I saw you forwarded my email to them to
Correct.
get, okay, yeah, right.
And then the drainage responsibilities for the culvert under Monument Road needs to be part of that agreement.
Yeah,
Okay.
you had sent that out 2 months ago, I think.
So there's a couple loose ends that we need to tie together. So the holding tank agreement, the O&M maintenance of the storm water culverts under Monument Road, and of course the improvement agreement. Correct, John?
Any update on Pine Street? Start date?
They are gonna let SDE know by the end of June.
And the sign situation was taken care of as far as putting signs on Pine Street down at 4th Street. I talked to the borough manager 2 weeks ago.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I talked to her 2 weeks ago and they said they didn't have a problem with it. So, I mean, I guess we need to get written confirmation on that probably.
Is that Amy?
Yeah.
That's borough.
The end walls won't be ready before July 15th. And then they weren't sure when the pipe was gonna be ready, so they were gonna let them know by the end of June.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that the signage issue is squared away before it starts.
And they're end of June, they'll notify.
Yeah. Because either they're gonna notify Tom or Grant.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
That it? All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Roadmaster, what do you have, Ben?
Well, this month we were mowing the shoulders, so we did all that. And we got the trucks ready for the summer work, so that's all taken care of. The new zero turn roar at the park, I did its break-in oil change, so that's serviced and ready to go the rest of the summer now, hopefully. So that's pretty much what we did last month. So, Western Paving is here on June 3rd and 4th to do the patchwork on Sunday Blisle, and then also in on Mabel and Raymond. John did say he forgot to give the price breakdown into your office, because Russell had said about for Raymond and Mabel, since that's along the sewer line in there, to calculate that separate. He said he forgot to bring that
Okay.
estimate in, but
Yeah, to my knowledge, I don't have it or anything, so
yeah, I talked to him yesterday. He goes, "Oh, I forgot to take that in."
I'll just, okay.
So he's gonna get it in either this week or next week. So,
Understood. Be on the lookout for it then.
Like to get the 4 trucks load the 2A stone hauled in for the pipe work. We'll get Western's to hold that in. So, what are we gonna do with the gutter over there on Mountain Road near the horse farm that you and Tom were out to look at it? Are we just gonna pipe that?
That would be my suggestion, because I know what you wanted to do. You wanted to beef up the shoulder, but it doesn't eliminate the problem of the back washing out. Because that's where the majority of the water's coming from. There's like 3 rivers that come down through there. So we would probably have to have that pipe spec'd for size.
Which one?
Mountain Road.
Yeah,
You almost have to do the footage and the area that it's covering. And what we wanted, my suggestion was to put perforated pipe in and bury it in like number 3s to let it, because that will help to hold the bank back.
like a base drain.
I thought I had the address for you, but I don't.
All right, so you're saying the drainage area is pretty significant for that little area?
Yeah, and there's some rivers that come down off that mountain.
Yeah, everything drains
I mean,
off
we're
the mountain.
basically dealing with water that's coming off other people's properties.
Yeah.
It's coming into our right of way and ruining the right of way.
And ruining the embankment, I mean, that would tell, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of undermining the roadway.
Mm. And then combine the shoulder a little bit.
Well, yeah, we were gonna do like bury the pipe and just make a swale out of it, and whatever doesn't get in the pipe will still run down across the top of the number 3s. But we're losing the shoulder right up to the white line at spots.
Yeah, they drive off the white line, you're in the
They're gone, they're in the mush.
There's a lot of water.
Okay, so we need to size the pipe for the drainage area. Okay, thank you.
Yesterday and today, we did grade shoulders on Sunday and Blisle Road. So now those are ready for oil and chip. And then I do have other roads I want to do with the summer homes and stuff, once we get the pipes in. And then I was going to start next week, but looking at the temperatures, I'm not going to start the culvert replacements. I don't want my crew to fall over.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, that could be done in fall if we could.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
we gotta deal with the
that's the
buses.
roads? Oh, even the buses?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they get by here.
And so that's all I have.
Had you gotten hold of, is Dean gonna help out at all?
He's going in for surgery. Well, he actually did have surgery again. I talked to him last week. He was going in this week for surgery again. He's getting
His back?
electrical implants in his spine. So he's gonna be out until beginning of September at the earliest. I said to him, I said, well, it'd be physical therapy for him, sitting back and
Yeah.
bouncing around. You know, so, you know. I said, we got 12-volt batteries and jumping cables, shock him, you know, but he said it would be, 6 weeks and then he has physical therapy, but they say nothing before 8 weeks. So that's
Well, I wonder if he's gonna be around much anymore, because I drove by there last weekend and he has for sale signs on his property. I don't know if you ask him about it, you know, because he may not even be around.
Well, I know February he told me because of his back, he wasn't gonna help snowplow anymore. But
Yeah,
now I don't know with this, or maybe he's gonna move up north to the cabin.
that's why I said something, you know, he may not even be around much. All right, that it?
Yep.
Any comment?
No.
All right, then we'll go to parks.
Did you get a letter from Roger?
Well, Roger indicated that he thought he'd be here. I don't
Yeah.
see him. And,
That's why I asked.
and of course, you want to explain the issue or should I?
You might as well, because I don't know what he all told you.
Oh, okay,
So
well.
I'll let you go in and,
The issue was, of course, people who are renting the park will do it over the weekend. And of course, Roger, the applicant or the person who was renting the park was not satisfied with the height of the grass. Because it was so Roger cut the grass. And the point that Roger was trying to make is that, of course, because of people being in over the weekend, the grass at the park preferably should be mowed at the end of the week rather than in the beginning of the week, so that, of course, if you have the conditions for growth, you know, that the grass is cut at that time. So that's what was just mentioned with that.
but he used his
I
mower,
was gonna ask you what he used.
he used his
Tractor.
mower and then submitted the bill.
Yeah.
Because he called me, he goes, I'm gonna give you a bill. I said, don't give it to me.
Who is this individual?
Roger, he's the one
Roger
that
Coons will take
oversees
care of
the
the park
rentals
for us.
at the park.
He does all the bookings for the picnics and everything. He's been doing it probably 10 or 12 years.
Oh, right.
Yeah, a number of
Right.
years.
Yeah.
He handles park rentals, etc.
So who mows the grass in the park?
But when you mow it Monday and Tuesday, it grows by Friday.
Well, who authorized him to mow the park?
I don't know, who authorizes you? Who tells you when to mow
No,
it?
no, this other individual, who's told him to mow the park?
Well, no, he mowed it on a Saturday morning when the people showed up, because they said the grass was too tall. It was for a 1-year-old's birthday party.
Do we have any thank you notes? We can send him a thank you note? We didn't hire him to do it.
So,
I'll talk to him.
We're not paying him.
So when should it be mowed though? Should it be mowed on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday?
My
Friday?
opinion, that's your decision.
So,
That's you guys' decision.
well, I always said before it should be mowed a Thursday or Friday.
Well,
Unless it's raining, because that way it's mowed
it's your
for the
call.
weekend, but, yeah.
It's your call.
Are they playing softball there right now?
It don't look like the
Well,
field.
then it could be
the field's
mowed
growing
anytime.
up.
Then mow it, yeah, just mow it closer to the weekend.
So, It's all growing
It's your
up.
call, Ben.
I don't deal with the park. So,
I'll talk to God my Saturday. My grass didn't grow that great, it's kind of
I
dry.
don't know. I wasn't there.
I'm just saying.
Do you have
I don't want nothing to do with the park.
Can make one,
Okay.
a
So,
letter.
Just try and mow it, Dave,
Here.
try and mow it.
You just write when I got this paper folder.
Alright.
I don't even know why we're overmowing it. We have a crew over there. So. We have a cleaning crew, we have a park crew, but yet.
Would her, well, not to take the work away from Dave, but would her husband, Fatima's husband, be one?
Is he
Want to
in
mow
the
it?
area?
I don't know. That's why she's cleaning yet, correct? Don't know who's
Supposedly
doing
she
it.
came back in fall, but
Okay.
I don't know who's over there. I know Roger opens up. I don't know who does the cleaning. I know, yesterday, the kitchen door was open and so were the 2 bathroom doors at lunchtime.
Is-
So apparently nobody's even locking up after the people leave.
I'll talk to Roger.
The gal who does it, her name is Michelle Wood. She had done it last year.
She's the one that came on to help Roger out, correct? Okay. All right, I'll talk to Roger. But yeah, just try and mow it closer than that.
Okay.
Any other comment? And the lights are working. I heard you called.
Supposedly he's getting complaints because the lights are on at
There's
night.
only 2 lights on.
But before, when all of them were on, he didn't get no complaints.
Well,
Must be really bright now.
I got him. And you know from Boo. I'll talk to him
I'm
about
surprised your
that.
phone didn't ring here.
What did Schaefer's do? We got an invoice from Schaefer for the park.
Oh, that was to fix the 3 toilets in the ladies' room.
Okay.
Because I tried to fix it and I actually made it worse. Well, I made the one worse and gave up on the other 2. Yeah. That should have been, that was in April? Is that right? Did it have it on there? It was April?
Right, I'd have to look with that. I just wondered, we were invoiced and I just,
Well, I didn't, not that it's for something, but yeah, they were there in April, so
Okay.
working the 3,
Very good.
3 ladies' toilets. Yeah.
You can leave one of the lights on, as long as the foot candles aren't exceeding the lot line, it's not.
It's underneath the pavilion roof. We did it so the kids aren't
So,
congregating under
that's
there.
totally, that's fine.
And there's
It's
some
just-
Fleetwood leaves all their lights on around the whole entire park,
Yeah.
as long as, but they're all, at night, they all get pointed down and
Yeah.
shielded, so that the foot candle's not exceeding the property line.
Well, we had
No, these are not.
Okay.
we had to dust the
I just
dawn.
let you know,
Yeah.
you're not breaking any.
No,
No.
before we had to dust the dawn lights.
Yeah.
But now these are on under the pavilion.
And
Now
they're,
that people are saying that the
Okay.
lights are left on.
I'm just letting you know.
yeah, they're on an electric eye.
All right.
And the rest of the lights, if somebody's using it, they can turn the timer on. And the timer's, it's a 4-hour timer.
Okay.
So then, if they forget to turn them off when they leave, there's a button you can hit and turn them off, otherwise the timer will shut them off.
Okay. All right.
All right, is that it? All right, thank you. Solicitor, you have any for us?
Okay, just from the last meeting, we were directed to just set a letter off to PennDOT, just, noting that we wouldn't be renewing the mowing contract, so that was, we sent that and took care of it. With regards to the agricultural security area submission from Donna Klein, we already received a response from the Berks County Planning Commission, essentially just noting that they, find that the parcel is consistent with the comprehensive plan, otherwise they'd object to it being included. Next Tuesday, our planning commission, as well as our agricultural security area committee, will be reviewing the Donna Klein submission. After that point, presuming that there's no objection to it by either of those bodies, we would just need to schedule and advertise a public hearing for it to be formally, entered.
And that's at 6:30 Tuesday.
For the Ag Sec committee,
Yeah,
yes,
security.
right before the planning
Has
commission.
everybody been notified?
We sent out a letter to each of the committee members, and
You got responses?
you responded, and
Responded.
2 of the others have responded, and we already have phone calls out to the others that we haven't heard back from yet, so I expect we'll hear from them, probably before the end of the week.
Well, and even if not, we should still have a quorum,
Mhm.
so it can still happen.
Correct. More of a side note, there's a matter before the zoning hearing board on July 17, 2024 at 7 p.m. It's pertaining to a submission for, I believe it's variance for the permitted uses in that particular district for the operation of a commercial upholstery business. Neither myself nor Attorney Farbiar's felt there was any particular need for he nor I to attend, but we always bring it up in the event that the board would want us to attend. But
And what was the property address?
Well, 0 Route 22, there's no property address yet. It's the garage there that's.
Roy Worley's old shop there at Sunday in Route 22, across from Pat Press's
Okay, yeah.
There's also a second zoning hearing on that same day, just for a variance for a principal structure without a principal structure.
You'll need an HOP, correct?
say that again.
You'll need an HOP.
The place, if it gets the zoning approval, it's also go through planning. It'll have to go through all the proper planning channels, yeah.
Yeah, because there is a driveway there now, but it's stone.
Yeah, but it's gonna have to made
Yeah.
for entering, exiting, and having the proper parking for that facility.
Yep. Any other comment? Good?
Yeah, that's all I had.
All right, thank you. On to old business, Mountain Trail Solar Conditional Use Hearing. This was July 11th.
That is correct.
Yeah, July 11th.
Yeah,
Right.
that's 6 o'clock PM, and it's here as
Here.
opposed to the
Here.
high school.
All right, fire company funding.
We, in regards to that, I know we prepared a memorandum of understanding and resolution. I know at the last meeting, we directed to coordinate a meeting between Hughes, Hamburg Bureau, and Tilden. My understanding is Attorney Farbiar's had reached out to the solicitors to them to coordinate that, but I'm not able to access his emails to see if he got a response, and at least I was not copied on any response to that inquiry.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything further,
Okay.
so we're just waiting to hear from him, I guess. Any comment?
Yeah, my comment is, I think we kick this can around so often with that, and of course, there's a draft of memorandum of understanding between the Township of Windsor and the Union Fire Company of Hamburg. And it lists funding, which was gone over by the board and also by the fire company. And compared to what the other entities are going to be giving, from what my understanding is, I am very much satisfied with what we have come up with. And I would hope we could take care of this because of the necessity with the fire companies. If we would have to have a public a department, we wouldn't be able to do that. So we have to do whatever we can do to make sure that we have functional, well-supported volunteer fire companies. So I think it's important, that we do this so that they know where they stand, so we can move forward.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt this resolution. Do I have a second?
The numbers that were listed with that, we have gone through. I would second that.
All in favor?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'm a no.
Okay, now let me make sure I get this. Okay, it's listed.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, then of course, as before,
We may have to change the sign signature page. We'll take that up with Justin at the end of the
Okay.
meeting.
I think I get what you're saying. Yeah.
We'll take that up at the end of the meeting. All right, is that it? The weight limit ordinance for Portland Avenue is
guess
Just
we
waiting
discussed.
waiting here on the borough
Correct.
and West Barnville.
Yeah, there's no point in adopting it if you're
Yeah.
not gonna support the signage.
Okay. All right, on to new business, a new planning commission appointment.
Right, apparently way back when the planning commission was first formed, it was done in the summer, so the terms for the planning commission appointees are 4-year appointments, and we have one appointment, or one position is due for appointment at our meeting for tonight. And it's a 4-year term.
Well, I talked to Dale Frederick at the zoning, or the public hearing the other night, and he said he's interested in serving again, and that's something that we have done in the past if the individual is interested in continuing serving, we gave him that opportunity. So I'd like to make a motion that we nominate Dale Frederick for another 4-year term on the planning commission. Do I have a second? No second?
Listen, I'm not speaking to second it. And of course, historically, Dale Frederick is a neighbor. He's a neighbor, he's in agriculture just like we are at home and whatever.
And he's also been on the planning commission longer than I've been involved
Right,
with the
right.
township.
And of course,
which is 28 and a
there
half
are,
years.
there are other individuals that are interested in this, and we're going through a rather contentious situation at this point. And of course, everyone's entitled to their opinions in whatever with this. But of course, if, at this point, we have an individual who is interested in serving on the planning commission. And at this point, and again, I have personally no hard feelings with Dale Frederick, but because of circumstances that are going on and the comments that we're getting, you know, from many of the
What
public.
comments would those be? And who's making them?
Who's making them?
Yeah, what comments and who's making them?
Well, the comments are, of course, you know, that the comments would be that, of course, at this time, it's serving his own interests with this. I don't believe that. I believe, you know, that of course everyone has the right to do that. We passed an ordinance that allowed this to be in agricultural property or agricultural zoned areas. And just for the record, I voted no, because I don't think that that's appropriate. To me, that is not an agricultural product. That's an industrial product. So
But is he complying with zoning?
he's yes, but what I'm talking about is where I stand personally with this. I think that is not an appropriate activity in agricultural zone areas.
But
Period.
he's complying with a past zoning ordinance, correct?
Right, he's with that.
So you can't blame him for that.
No, I'm not.
We have a question.
Has the position been advertised for public input, as we're talking about transparency? Has it been posted, I don't know, is it a 30-day posting that if there are other eligible candidates, that there is a procedure that they can follow to apply? And then out of that, can you take that to your review?
The planning commission people are appointed by the board.
I understand that, but is there still an application process that
No.
any eligible applicant that's out there, to be fair,
They
You know what I
can
mean?
come to us, we have an alternate on the board in case they would need somebody at the meetings to make quorum.
My position on this is, you know, I know this doesn't apply here, but I believe in all forms of government, there should be some kind of term limits. There's nothing against the person that's seeking this position and had it for 20-some years. I think it's fair to the population in this township to have other people have opportunities for these positions. And I'd like to make the motion, we
We have other people, new people on the planning commission.
nominate Eric, our alternate, for that position.
We have new people on the planning commission. We just, Holly, how long have you been on?
2 years?
How many? Two?
Year and a half.
So you can't say that we're not changing
Well,
seats.
I'm just saying,
John Westner's on.
John Westner's new,
And
he's probably
Josh.
only been on.
Josh Yuba?
Josh Yuba's on, there's 3 new people in the last 2,
Year.
3 years. So I don't know what your point is.
my point is Eric expressed an interest to do it when he became an alternate, and I make the recommendation, we nominate him.
Is there a second, since I didn't get a second on mine?
Okay. Just so I have clarity with this, Jerry, you're making a motion that we would appoint Eric Sills not as to fill the open vacancy for a 4-year term on the planning commission.
Yes.
Okay. And I was asked when that seat happens. Since we have a planning commission meeting next Tuesday, I was asked, and I said at that point, and you correct me if I'm wrong, that the person who's presently seated would then take effect after this planning commission meeting.
I don't know when his term ends, just to be transparent.
Well, we never really discussed that in all these prior years. But the person who's on the planning commission now, and since it is the month of June, the present person who's on the planning commission, would he serve at next Tuesday's meeting specifically, or would it have to be the new person?
I don't
It
know.
would depend when his date is.
Yeah,
You should have an end, there should be an exact.
Yeah, like the
date.
4th
When
anniversary.
he's
Well,
sworn
it should
in.
be in the minutes for 4
We
years
never
ago.
had that before, and that's
Yeah.
what my thoughts were, it would be at the end of the month, you know, so that this person who is on the planning commission now would be on the planning commission for this next Tuesday's meeting, and then if he's reappointed, then would continue, or if there's a new person, would then continue after the month of June. Does that make sense?
Presuming, you're saying like 4 years ago to June is when he was
Mhm.
last, okay, yeah, that would make sense to me.
See, normally people leave and then they just get moved up. They actually
Sure.
don't have this.
Yeah, because Doris is coming up next.
Mr. Chairman, I will second the motion to appoint Eric Sills for a 4-year term on the planning commission, which would commence the first of the 1st of July.
Every two months, so August. would be first
Yeah, the meeting will be in August.
right? Would you also then need to address the fact that there would not be an alternate? Because that's where I had fallen. I was taken on as an alternate, and that meeting that I first attended is when I got when the position became available for a permanent. So at this, should we also open up a position for an alternate right away?
Yeah,
So that we
absolutely.
don't have that lag time, kind of? Do you know what I'm saying, Craig?
So you need an alternate right away.
I'm sorry, I just didn't
You,
hear what
you need an alternate right away.
Or at
yeah.
least
Well,
a
we
conversation.
should have an alternate as soon as we have someone.
Because you're not gonna be here, correct?
Right, but he's
So-
saying
but-
as of Tuesday, everything's staying the same. I have, Dale's still here as a representative on the planning commission on Tuesday. Eric's coming in to substitute for me because I won't be here, so he's gonna be the alternate in play.
Mhm.
So the next meeting presumably will be August, and that's when Dale will leave the position and Eric would come in as a permanent. And at some point, you just need to address it, that we need an alternate.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have anyone in mind?
Absolutely not.
Well, we can decide that in July's meeting, correct?
Right.
We can appoint someone in July for the alternate,
Right.
which would cover you in August, or cover somebody in
Something-
August.
if something
Yes.
should come up in August.
those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm a no.
No. Okay.
All right, on to Hefner Road Solar.
I have nothing.
Nothing?
I haven't, the township has not received anything at this point, officially. There's nothing been received.
All right. All right, other concerns? Yep.
I don't know if Pam knows. Pam, do you know if AMS was contacted for the oil and chip? If they got their notice to proceed?
I thought they were. I can verify it and follow up with an email tomorrow.
All right, thank
Okay?
you.
Mhm. And also the schedule, so when we issued the notice to proceed and what their schedule is,
Yeah,
correct?
because I didn't hear nothing yet, so
Okay.
I figured.
No worries.
Mr. Chairman, just so there's some clarity with this, I will talk to Dale and indicate that he's on the planning commission for this coming meeting. I'll make sure
Yeah, I
that
thought he
there's
was gonna
clarity
be here
with that.
anyway.
Okay?
I thought he said he was gonna be here anyway next week. All right. All right, if there's no other concerns, I'd like to make a motion that we pay the bills. Do I have a second?
I will second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Any reason to go into executive session? All right, if that's it, I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn the meeting. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.